Bill Belichick and Ernie Adams, who's in Bill Belichick's closet, are just going to go to work here and figure out what they can do for Cam Newton. Anytime you listen to Bill Belichick talk, he always talks about, we will take advantage of our strengths and try to exploit their weaknesses. Their strengths right now are they have a quarterback who's bigger than basically every single defensive line in the NFL. They got a quarterback now who has a chip on his shoulder that's bigger than anybody else. They have a quarterback now who, after watching what Lamar Jackson was able to do last year, I don't think Cam Newton will be able to beat Lamar Jackson because there's only one Lamar Jackson. But boy, if you ground and pound with this 6'14", 300-pound quarterback that's more athletic than everybody else, and you have a defense that can get offenses off the field, I mean, you're talking about a recipe for success. And everybody has talked about it. Everybody's been captivated by it. And I think the only people that are thinking that this is a bad move by the Patriots are the people that live in a fairy tale land who haven't seen Cam Newton play football. That is the last 2 years, he stunk. It's like, well, he's also had like debilitating injuries to things that are pretty important to playing football, your foot and your shoulder. And then there was some people that were saying, well, if Ron Rivera, who coached him, liked him so much, he would have brought him to the Washington Redskins. Interesting statement there, because the Redskins just used a first-round draft pick on Dwayne Haskins, who happened to go to school with Schneider's kid. So you're talking about the future of the franchises in Dwayne Haskins. They fired a coach. They brought Dwayne Haskins in. They're building that thing up around him. Now, Ron Rivera said there'll be competition at that thing, but that is Dwayne Haskins' team for the next at least 2 to 3 years. Just like the Buffalo Bills, who think this is Josh Allen's team for the next at least 2 to 3 years, maybe 10 years, they're hoping, so they want to bring him in. But everybody else who knows anything about football has basically said this makes the Patriots an immediate contender, including sportsbooks who happen to know the future. Sportsbooks have said that they are now the number 3 team in the AFC, the number 3 favorite in the AFC. Before that, they were not, by the way. They were not at all before signing Cam Newton. Before Sunday, signing a free agent who's been on the market for 3 months now, they were not number 3 in the AFC. Now they're number 3 in the AFC. And in my eyes, I think they're going to the AFC Championship game. I don't know if they can beat the Chiefs. I don't know if anybody can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You asked me on Saturday what I think of the Patriots. I think the Patriots missed the playoffs for the first time in potentially 20 years. You asked me that. Okay, on the golf course, I'm what? 16, 17 cones deep at that point, maybe 300, 400 milligrams deep at that point, maybe having a White Claw, one too many, especially that day. I understand people love those White Claws, not necessarily for me, but it was a genius invention. I hadn't really drank them until this weekend. What a brilliant idea that is. Somehow telling people you're not going to get fat and you're going to black out is that seems like a recipe for success. But if you ask me on Saturday what are the Patriots going to do, I'm not even make the playoffs. I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's going to be tough, especially with, that Bills Mafia. I mean, they're rallying. I mean, you always talk about Bills Mafia going through tables and ketchup and mustard and dildos and storms and blizzards and this, but they got a team now. And last year they went down to Houston and gave Houston everything they could possibly handle. Now, granted, Josh Allen, with time left on the clock when they needed the ball, pitched it as if it was the annexation of Puerto Rico in the middle of it. But there's some things that Josh Allen, he got better at this, got better at that. They bring in Stephon Diggs. That's what I would have said. I would say, you know what, Sam Darnold's probably not going to suck face with high school. We're not going to get mono. Okay, so that's probably not going to happen. Le'Veon Bell, maybe after one bad year he wants to be back, so maybe the Jets are back. Hey, let's not even talk about Quinnen Williams, who is an absolute stud on a defensive line, and can Gase potentially get the team that he's always wanted on the field. Now, will they have Jamal Adams? Nobody knows. But then you go down to the Miami Dolphins, like Brian Flores. Everybody thought they were trying to lose. And what they do, they go out and win games. And B-Flow brought in guys that he loves. Kyle Van Noy, a couple other defensive weapons, and they drafted Tua. They still got the guy who has the brain of a Harvard grad and the heart of a plumber and Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's going to be a tough go. So I think in the AFC East, the Patriots in trouble. I don't even think they'll make the playoffs. You signed Cam Newton on Sunday night. Boy, oh boy. And I don't want to be a victim of the moment. Okay, I don't want to do that. But this feels like a move that immediately puts the Patriots back in the driver's seat of the AFC East, in which means if you have Bill Belichick, now granted, so sorry to interrupt. If you're a man watching this, you deserve to have long, great. And you can do that now with our friends at Roman. Right now, you go to GetRoman.com. You get $10 off and free 2-day shipping on Roman swipes, which are guaranteed to make you have longer, more fulfilling every time you get in the sack. Now, let's get back to the fornicating action. Will they be able to film other teams? I think this time is potentially the last time they'll be able to do that. Okay, that news kind of got stuck in there. But if you got Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, Ernie Adams, and everything else that they got up there with Cam Newton, and if Cam Newton's bought in, which we think everybody, by all accounts, he's going to be bought into this thing, to the Patriot way, which they said they don't market, but it is kind of understood. I think they are legitimately AFC Championship or bust at this point. Now, I don't think they'll be able to touch the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to keep up the Kansas City Chiefs if they try this year. I think that's going to be very difficult. I think Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, losing Yonda is going to be a lot bigger than people think, Marshall Yonda. So I think they'll have a good year. I just don't know if it'll be as magical as last year, even though they got knocked out early by the Tennessee Titans. I just think that with this team, Bill Belichick will do what Bill Belichick always does, and that's find a way to win no matter what. Go back to Castle, they did it. That guy, good guy. Okay, listen, by all accounts, Matt, I've never met him really, I don't think. Good guy, good mustache, good backup quarterback. Yep. He stunk as a starting quarterback. They won. They won undefeated. They won 11 games with that guy. I just think the big brains up there, bringing in a defensive end at quarterback, plus having Julian Edelman, Mohamed Sanu, N'Keal Harry, Sony Michel, James White on that offensive side of the ball, if they completely go all in around Cam Newton and what Cam Newton's strengths are, which they will, is what they've said, whoever our starter is way well and saying manage their strengths. Yeah, we have Stidham and Hoyer, Lamar, and Jamar, and all these people, but we don't even know, or maybe somebody else's strengths will go all in with them. That's what he said when the schedule was released. And remember how calm and casual he's been this entire time? Everybody thinks Patriots are going to stink for the first time in 20 years. I did until Sunday. I thought they were going to stink. He had his dog doing a draft. Okay, he had his dog doing a draft. When he did the schedule release thing, he was just like casually talking. He drafted a guy that everybody thought was potentially a 7th rounder in the 2nd round. I mean, Bill Belichick didn't even go to the combine, went and worked out of Middle Tennessee State defensive end. I mean, Bill Belichick has just been so chill through this whole thing. It led some people to believe that they were potentially thinking about stinking next year so they can get Trevor Lawrence and run that 2-decade bitch back with Trevor Lawrence. Instead, what Bill Belichick was doing was, the other 31 teams are so stupid, we know it. Nobody's going to sign Cam Newton. Let's wait until he's for $1 million. And Ernie's like, you think we can get him for $1 million? We can get him for $1 million. Sign him for $1 million, they get Cam Newton. Immediately become AFC Championship contenders in my eyes, and obviously the dominant team in the AFC East. And that was Sunday night. That happened out of nowhere, gave us something to talk to. Everybody's reacting to it in the sports world, and I think it's just starting to settle in on everybody. Like, damn, we thought the Patriots were dead. Everybody thought the Patriots were dead. Pumped up about it. People in Pittsburgh, Yingers in Pittsburgh, were cracking open Iron City beers. Their kids were having Iron City mangoes. They were shotgunning them, celebrating them. The big bad wolf of the AFC is dead. Patriots, see you later. Dead.
Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the wicked witch is dead.
In Indianapolis, they were singing the same song and dance. They were just chugging Bud Lights instead out here. They were doing everything that they possibly. Give me another pork tenderloin. Give me 4 of them, actually. Give me a sandwich. I'm going to celebrate tonight because Tom Brady and the Patriots are dead. Okay? You go through every AFC city. That is what was happening. Then he signed Cam Newton. Everybody's like, oh, Cam Newton stinks. Cam Newton stinks. Cam Newton stinks. And then NFL Network yesterday just ran a highlight reel of Cam Newton's best games. And boy, that was a real slap of reality, I think, in the face of a lot of people. Like, damn, this dude is good. Ron Rivera told us in an interview, he said, well, if we have a healthy Cam Newton, we win. If we don't have a healthy Cam Newton, we lose. And that's why I got fired. And that is the only reason why I'm now going to be a Washington Redskins head coach is because we didn't have a healthy Cam Newton. I think it is time to be fully upset about the Jaguars, the Colts, the Browns, the Raiders, the Pittsburgh Steelers potentially.
Bears.
The Chicago Bears definitely. These teams saying no to Cam Newton and instead igniting the Patriot dynasty back on fire.